Thank you very much. Mga kaibigan, muli pong nagbabalik ang inyong programa, ang Aksyon Central Luzon Special Edition. Ito po si Sunny Lopez at alam niyo naman po mga kaibigan, nabibigyan ho natin ng prioridad tungkol po sa kalusugan. Ngayon po, there's some developments na napakahalaga po para sa ating lahat. Lalong-lalo na po mga taga-Clark, taga-Pampanga, taga-Gitnang Luzon, sapagkat meron pong isang proyekto dito na talagang pakikinabangan po ng karamihan mga kaibigan. Kaya po, we have invited, of course, the president of the Clark Investors and Locators Association, my co-host, because he's a regular now, Jeff
Exactly.
Pradhan.
Good to be with you again.
Yeah, okay, welcome again.
Thank you.
And we have the Director for Operations and Marketing of Medical City Luzon Division, Evelyn Yumul. Welcome, ma'am.
Hi, good morning. It's good to be here.
Okay, let's talk about GGLC first.
Yeah. Well, I guess my day job, if you will, beyond the SILA activities, is actually I'm Vice President for Sales and Marketing for
Right.
the GGLC project, Global Gateway Logistics City. It's located here within the Clark Freeport Zone, and it's a mixed-use development, essentially catering to office, logistics, manufacturing. It's 177 hectares. It's master planned. It's got 4 zones, and essentially what we've kind of targeted is to be somewhat of a Bonifacio of the North.
Yes.
So it can cater to the BPO, the office, corporate headquarters, but at the same time we have about 70 hectares of logistics manufacturing space since we're located adjacent to the airport complex. It's very valuable and ideal for companies that need access to the airport and want to ship through the airport. So overall, it's a mixed-use development, and our first locator that we've targeted and we're successful in bringing up to Clark and to GGLC is the Medical City. As a great anchor tenant, the hospital, and providing first-class medical service.
So you want that everything will be ready, especially medically, when all the big businesses are in your area.
That's right. I mean, I think the businesses are already here at Clark.
Right.
I mean, we already got tremendous employment, lots of foreign direct investment here. I think they're already here and located, but they just haven't had that upper echelon,
Right.
service that they've, wanted and required. And so
And
it's
dreamt
nice.
for a long time to have, right?
That's right. That's right. It was just a matter of time. I mean, as you mentioned before, there was Clark and Central Luzon, Los Angeles area has always been known for its medical
Right.
care and coverage. But for a time period, it's been without any, premier tertiary hospital, and I think that's going to change once Medical City's up and running.
Okay, we have, as I've said, the Director for Operations and Marketing of the Medical City. Ma'am, please talk about the project because I think you're the one who is assigned to handle this.
Yeah.
Big task, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's really a big task. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm excited and at the same time, I'm scared. But anyway, of course, the Medical City Clark has already started its construction last month. And we're hoping to have it finished and operational by mid of 2014. Okay, it's a tertiary hospital. It has a provision for 250 beds, but we're going to start up with
Initially?
100. Yeah.
Is that any?
No, initial would be about 150.
Okay.
But the provision of the facility is up to 250.
Okay.
All right. So it's going to be a complete facility. It's going to be some sort of a junior of the Medical City Ortigas, only in terms of bed capacity. Though.
Okay, I'd like to ask that because this is related to the Medical City, the Medical City.
Yeah, the Medical City in Ortigas.
Right. Okay.
It's a branch of the Medical City Ortigas. And again, in terms of bed capacity, it's going to be some sort of a junior because TMC Ortigas is about 800 beds. But in terms of facility and services, it's going to be the same as that of the Medical City and at par with the world-class quality medical service that the Medical City Ortigas has been known for and has been doing for the past 40 years.
I'd like to ask you, you are moving, right? Medical City is moving.
Yes.
There are various that you're serving, which is not the usual thing to do for the big hospitals in Manila.
Yeah, because for the Medical City, it's us who goes to where we are needed. It's us who goes to our patients because for us, our patients are our partners. So where they are, where the service is needed, that's where we go. And in fact, right now, even as Clark is being constructed, the medical city has its presence already in Angeles. We have the medical city
Okay.
Angeles right now.
And where is that, ma'am?
It's along Santo Entierro Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but now that you're putting up this facility in Clark, it's a 20,000 square meter
It's
facility,
about a
right?
20,000 square meter facility, and it'll be completed in about 22 to 24 months total.
Okay.
The foundations, everything's ongoing now, but it'll slowly progress. People will start to see it coming out of the ground, and I think more and more people will be aware of what's happening here, in several more months. But I think what Evelyn mentioned is key, because Medical City is an established brand. I mean, they're
Yes.
one of only 2 brands in the
That's why
entire
I'm
country.
asking her, is this the
Yeah.
medical city?
Right. This is not a name change or
Exactly.
or some regular brand. This is an internationally
So
accredited.
no lawsuits there, huh?
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But their decision to come to Clark and to expand north. I mean, really, I think this is probably the first major branded tertiary hospital of the known brands in the Philippines to come north. And that's very significant, and especially with what they're coming in with. I mean, this is not Evelyn termed it a junior hospital just for the first phase, but their master plan over 5 to 7 years is calling for this to be the same size as the Ortigas facility.
Uh-huh.
In about 5 to 7 years, you're going to have about 800 beds. You're going to have about 100,000 square meters of space.
Right.
Fully tertiary hospital. So I mean, this is not a small entry into the market. This is a major move by one of the top brands in the country to start providing their service to the north.
And as you said, you're going to where the action is.
Oh yeah.
You're bringing the action to where it is, right?
Yeah, of
Not waiting
course.
for the people to go there. Because
Exactly.
people from Angeles City, Pampanga, even up to now, despite the fact that we have facilities here, we still go to Manila. We still go to Medical City. We still go to the big names there and for the checkups and everything. So what you have in Manila, as you mentioned, will be present here
Okay.
at the TMC, huh?
Yes.
CMC,
as
CMC.
in TMC as in TMC.
Okay.
The medical city.
The medical city.
Yeah.
Mhm. So again, why did you choose Clark, ma'am?
I think Clark is a great location for, especially for the plan of TMC to have several networks.
Yes.
Because of the presence of our airport, it will
Okay.
easily connect us internationally to our patients, to whom we are already catering right now as the medical city. And of course, looking forward to the progress of SIAC or Clark Airport. This is, I think, the best place for any business whatsoever, not only medical facility, if we want to go international.
So you're into medical tourism eventually, because you're talking about the Clark Airport.
Yeah, actually, the medical city Ortigas has already been into
Yes.
medical tourism way before, together with the rest of the other brands of medical facilities in the country. And it's just a matter of course, moving forward and making it easier in terms of access, not only for our international patients, but also for our regional partners coming from Luzon and Visayas, because Clark Airport is something that people would, I would say, prefer now, no? Because there's
Yes.
less traffic,
Right,
it's
right.
more accessible,
Yeah.
and
It's interesting. When we first started hosting and talking to the executives for the medical city, and we brought them up from Ortigas, kind of introduced them, show and tell of Clark, of this area. At first they weren't too familiar with it. So the first time they came up was kind of just a courtesy to say, sure, we'll come up and we'll see it. We'll see what
Yes.
you're doing there. No real expectations. But I think after that first visit, they were really surprised with what they saw, and they went back and said, you know what, this is actually an ideal location. This is a real opportunity. So we continued to host, we continued to talk,
Yes.
and the discussion started to increase, and they started to expand. Every time they visited, the size of the hospital, the scope of the hospital, the facilities and the service that was going to be provided increased.
Right.
And I think once they understood, you mentioned the airport. I mean, that's a key factor in anything here in Clark and Central Luzon. They realized that the catchment basin for the airport is the same catchment basin for a hospital,
Right.
or for an educational institution, or for any really business distribution center.
You're talking about the airport. We've not discussed NLEX yet and SUTEX.
But that's the point, is that if you look
Locally,
at the
yeah.
northern environment
Right.
of Metro Manila, and you talk about Quezon City, Balintawak, Caloocan, any place there in north, it's easier for them to get to Clark than it is to travel down into Makati and into Manila because of the traffic, because of EDSA and these things. So for a hospital to say, okay, we're going to centrally locate at Clark, at the interchange of the NLEX
Very
and the SETEX.
strategic, huh?
Very, very strategic. Plus you have the airport to cater to the medical tourism.
Right.
This is a huge catchment base, and that's what I think they saw, is that, wow, there's a huge demographic market to the north that is underserviced. And we can be the first to service them with an international accredited level of service and brand that people would be comfortable with.
Because the highways, the major highways that we have mentioned, of course, as far as Quezon,
going to-
Dingalan,
yeah.
and of course La Union, and
Yeah, going up to
really north, huh?
Yeah, so this is an ideal area. And I think
And as you mentioned, in this area, in the country, while there may be some medical facilities, we do not have the likes of the medical city.
right, they're not accredited to the same level and standard. They don't have the same expertise. They don't have the same level of training for their doctors. It's just a different level of care. And they have a tagline of "Our patients are our partners." But I've been a patient in Medical City, and it's true. They very good service, very oriented towards the patient, and so I think they're a great brand.
And thinking of the development, UGLC and Clark itself,
Yeah.
can use this as a marketing part of their
that's right.
marketing, right?
No,
Tell everybody that.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
Right.
It's a win-win for everybody. Obviously, Medical City is going to do very well here, and they're excited to be entering this market. But at the same time, I think not just GGLC, but everyone in Clark is very happy to see
Right.
a brand like Medical City come and establish themselves within the Clark Freeport zone, because that helps everybody. I mean,
Because when there are foreign companies that do locate here,
That's
one
right.
of the things that they are asked is,
That's right.
do you have these facilities, medical facilities? Now that we have them in the neighborhood, well, we used to have some outside, but now that we have them inside, that would be,
that's competitive edge.
Yes.
Retirees.
Retirees.
Everybody, every industry, every cross sector of the market or economy is looking at, can I get good health care coverage in that area? It's a very key concern for people these days. And you've got Clark with its security,
Right. Fenced area.
fenced area, ease of doing business, streamlined. All the benefits that are already here at Clark
Plus
that are
the
attracting
recent
people.
facilities for the retirees that you
That's
mentioned.
right. And now you have this world-class medical coverage here. That really kind of completes the picture.
Ma'am, kanina sinabi mo yung sa medical tourism, talagang you're already doing that.
In Ortigas.
Pero yung retirees, do you have that in mind also, as Jeff mentioned?
We're talking of the...
Of the Japanese, the
retirement.
Americans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Opo, opo.
We have a lot of expats here.
Opo. Actually, ngayon po, the Medical City Angeles is very active also with our Healthcare Coalition in partnership with the Philippine Retirement
Right.
Authority. We have a focus group that we have established, and it's a work in progress because we have been meeting with several associations, the Korean Business Association,
Yes.
of course, the U.S. military
Yes.
retirees. We have been meeting with them and asking them on how we can even be of better service to them, especially so that the medical city now is being constructed. And you know what? They're just so excited to see up there, up and about, because number one, the line of international insurances that are now currently
Right.
accredited with the Medical City Ortigas, this will all be, of course, extended to the Medical City Clark. And actually, even right now, kaya na rin po kami napupuntahan ng expats dito sa Angeles, no? Kahit na kami po ay isa lang 20-bed hospital sa ngayon.
Right.
Kasi pag mayroon pong expat or foreigner na pumunta sa TMC Angeles, at of course mayroong health insurance na international, all we have called the Medical
Lahat naman
City.
yun meron ng health insurance, di ba?
Exactly.
Yung mga expats, yung
Karamihan.
mga American retirees.
Meron po.
Kasama sa nila yan, sa retirement nila yan eh. Tapos yung mga Japanese and then the other nations, plus the fact that the Filipinos have a good advantage here.
Tama.
They want the Filipinos to take good care of them. So,
Exactly. They love the way Filipinos are taking care of them, diba? In terms, not medically speaking,
Right.
and
the extra
The bedside manner.
factor, right?
Yeah.
exactly. Merong extrang tender loving care
Right.
siguro, no? The way
Yeah.
Filipinos handle patients. Kaya gustong-gusto nila talaga dito sa Pilipinas. Yun.
So, alam niyo ba na ang pagpunta niyo dito, medyo ninenervyos din yung mga ibang mga hospital na nandito na. Siguro nabalitaan niyo na ho yan, ha? Nagre-retool din sila, ha? Para baka naman malaking market segment nila mawala dahil sa pagpunta niyo dito. Nasa Angeles na nga kayo, pumunta pa kayo sa Clark.
Hindi naman po siguro, dapat nga po siguro ay matuwa sila, no?
Which is good, ha?
Oo, dahil
For the patients.
opo,
This is
for
very
the
good.
patients, isa naman ang objective namin lahat, hindi ba? Yun ay makapagbigay ng magandang serbisyo at mapangalagaan ang kalusugan ng ating mga
Opo, right.
Pilipino. Hindi lamang, I think, not only the people in Manila deserve quality service or quality medical care, but of course, it goes for all of the Filipinos, be it in Northern Luzon or in Central Luzon. They all deserve that quality care that a lot of the hospitals should be giving them, di ba?
Gumagastos na nga tayo, di ba?
Oo nga po.
So, kailangan yung the best na ma-opta sa atin.
Tama po. Tsaka, actually po, no, you were talking about the NLEX and the SCTEX earlier on, no? Wala pa dito yung TPLEX, no? Pinag-uusapan din, no? But anyway, meron din po, currently kasi, I'm representing the Medical City Luzon Division, no po?
Yes.
So when you talk of Luzon Division, hindi lang naman po iyan Angeles at Clark. Meron na rin po tayong the Medical City Pangasinan.
Okay.
At meron din po tayong the Medical City Cavite. At patapos na rin po ang the Medical City Subic. So basically, Clark po talaga ay magiging catch basin po ng lahat nito
Pinaka-sentro.
satellite clinics namin, no, in other provinces.
Kung talagang more is needed.
Opo.
So, meron tayong mga helicopter siguro dyan pagdating ng panahon.
Dapat lang po kasi meron din po tayong the Medical City Guam
Oo.
na ginagawa na rin po ngayon.
Oo.
So, of course, yung networking na po yun would be really very significant.
You know, I was talking about the helicopters because we have NLEX, you know, we have SCTEX, and you're talking about TPLEX now.
TPLEX, yeah.
When we talk about this, there's some accidents that sometimes do occur that we need, you know, the quick response units of hospitals, which is not available right now.
Well, that's a great point you bring up. It's not only just the high-speed toll roads and
Right.
highways. It's actually the airport itself.
Right.
The airport itself, in order to become an international gateway and become accredited to the, they have to meet certain safety standards, and they need a trauma burn center to accommodate the airport. And it needs to be a certain distance and a certain time from accessing the runways. Where Medical City is locating, by NGGLC, which is right next to the runways, they can have direct access to the runways and be that burn trauma center for the airport. And we've talked with SEOC about that, and they like that idea, and it helps the airport,
Right.
as well as handling the other things that you're talking about in terms of highway accidents. So it's a huge benefit. One of the things I wanted to comment on was what you guys were just talking about, the network that Medical City is putting in place. It's not just a one-off. All right, we're putting a tertiary hospital here, and everybody needs to come from far-flung Region 1, 2, and everywhere else. It's their network expands, all over, and then they have that main tertiary facility where if you need a specialist, you can then visit.
Right.
And another thing that I think is important to talk about, especially with this hospital, when this hospital is done, I think it's going to be, I pretty much know based on the designs and what has been designed into this in terms of ICT, this will be probably the most sophisticated ICT hospital in the country. Intelligent hospital with their networks, with what they can do with medical telepresence in terms of seeing a patient through a screen with medical devices that actually work, and the doctors are here in Clark, but they're able to, at one of their clinics or network facilities up in Subic or La Union or wherever it is, they can actually interact and treat the patient with the specialist here at Clark. So there's going to be, and again, with Guam, same thing. If the patient comes here to Clark and they need a specialist that's in Guam, it's the same. So it's some very versatile technology that they're implementing here as well. So I think this is going to be a unique hospital in that sense as well.
Is this going to put us at least at par with what the other countries have been doing already?
Of course, definitely.
Like Thailand, what Thailand is doing, right? And the availability of the facilities in Singapore.
Right.
The Filipinos go there, right?
This puts us on the map, I think. It definitely does. And the accessibility, the ease with Clark, you don't have to drive around Metro Manila. You don't have to go anywhere else.
Right.
You get out of the plane, you go straight to the hospital.
You don't die on the highway.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Time is very important in medicine.
Right. You're correct there. Okay, we're gonna have a short break. Mag-break ko kami mga kaibigan. Pagkatapos ng break, magpapatuloy. At gusto ko malaman dito ho sa ating mga panauhin, lalong-lalo na ho sa ating pong taga Medical City, kung magkano po ang ipupundar nila, ang lalagay nila o na pera dito as an investment, no? Dahil malaking halaga po ang kailangan pag when you talk about the facilities, when you listen to them talk about their facilities, may gastos po malaki ito mga kaibigan, at yun ho malalaman natin pagkatapos po ng break natin. Babalik po kami mga kaibigan. Thank you very much. Nagbabalik po yung programa Aksyon Central Luzon Special Edition. Ito pa rin po si Sunny Lopez. Kasama pa rin po si Jeff at saka si Ma'am Evelyn Yumul, no? Na siya hong nag-handle ng North Division po, no? Ng the Medical City. Luzon Division, right?
Opo.
Ma'am, pakiulit mo lang, ha? Kasi kayo lang ang gumagawa nito.
Opo.
You really, it's really now a policy for the Medical City to provide these facilities in major areas in the country. You've mentioned about areas in the north, right? Dito sa Clark, sa Angeles. Saan pa ho ba yung mga tinayo nyo na?
Actually, as we speak, no, operational na rin po ang The Medical City Iloilo.
Iloilo.
Opo, it's a tertiary hospital as well, no, that specializes in cardiovascular procedures. Tapos, this is on top of we all have our mall-based satellite clinics, no, within Metro Manila, all the way up to Lipa, Batangas. Meron na rin po tayong mga regional The Medical City satellite clinics.
Okay.
And marami pa po. Maraming, of course, right
So far,
now,
you're the only institution that's doing this, right? Wala akong naririnig na
I
ganyan.
believe so, yes. I believe so.
So you will continue on doing this, and as we have been discussing, Clark is part of all the things that you have in mind.
Opo. Opo. And I think this is also a very good opportunity, hindi lamang po sa ating mga pasyente, kundi sa ating mga doktor din po, no?
Right.
Because
Nag-abroad palagi. Yung magagaling, umaalis din nag-abroad. Our doctors, the good ones.
They can, get access to going overseas,
yeah, and once you, especially in Clark, if you become an accredited physician of Medical City, no, it's easier for us also to connect them to our international facility.
Right.
Like especially for doctors who are specialists, and should we need one abroad, it would be easier for us to get them there.
Fly them here, right?
Fly them there or fly them here.
I think it's really strategic what Medical City's doing.
Yes.
They're very progressive in their outlook of the country as a whole, and they're, I think, doing a great job of assessing the need for medical needs around the country. It's not just focused on Luzon. They're in the Visayas already. They're actually international with Guam. They're developing this network, which I think at the end of the day, once this network's in place, say 2-3 years from now, they're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else in terms of their ability to serve, their ability to provide the best care because of that network, because of the access to specialized doctors and care and all these things. But they'll be able to do it not just in maybe 1 or 2 places in Luzon. They'll be able to do it throughout the whole country. So I think that's a very key factor.
I think they're doing it right now.
Yeah, they're doing it right now. They're already doing it.
So pag nagising yung mga ka-level yung mga hospital, mga facilities, medyo nakauna na kayong sobra. Is this also part of the fact that the country is gearing towards inviting more tourists to come over? This is for the locals, I know, but we're also talking about initially about medical tourism. Is this part of it?
Yes, because no, as I mentioned earlier, we have established a focus group, no? Yung aming coalition with PRA, no? Because when we started asking the foreigners with whom we have already met and ask them what is their priority in considering where to go for a vacation or something, it's always number one in their mind, the medical facility. That to make sure that
Because these are senior citizens, the retirees.
That's right.
yes, that's why, and they are more than excited when they found out that we are already here and that the medical city is already being constructed. They always ask me, when is it going to be up?
But you because we'll be showing some footages. Jeff was talking about the construction started already, right?
Yeah, construction's full blast right now.
You know the timetable for this?
Yeah, it's going to take total. I mean, you guys will start. The public will start when they drive by the site. They'll start seeing the walls, the columns, steel columns coming up out of the ground in maybe a week or so. But you know, the shell will be finished very quickly, I think, because it's steel building. But it's really what's going to take the longest amount of time is because it's a hospital. It's a very intricate and complex mechanical and electrical systems, gas systems that go into this building. So it's not just your typical office building. You put up some shell and you wire it up, and that's it. This has got some sophisticated systems. So that's really where you're going to see it take the longest time. I mean, you'll see the building up, and then probably
building is easy, right?
Yeah, the structure itself is probably the easiest part of this build, and then it's going to be the fitting out of everything else that goes into it. That'll take a significant amount of time, and that's where it comes into about the 22-month, about almost 2 years to fully complete it. But yeah, everybody will start seeing the structure itself coming out of the ground, maybe just another couple weeks.
And since they have started, you know, we're gonna, you know, really move fast.
That's right. That's right. No, I mean, this will be a catalyst, I think, for the area. You guys were just talking about this. We've talked about this before with the Philippine Retirement Authority and their goals to bring in more retirees. It is number one on their list of must-haves is healthcare.
I heard that because I was able to interview the head of the Philippine Retirement Authority, and they're really looking for top medical facilities for them to even think of going into a particular area.
Well, it makes Clark and Subic in this area very, very attractive. I mean, Clark and Subic were already in the top 5 areas within the Philippines for that are ready today to bring in retirees. But now with a first-class facility like the Medical City, I don't think there's going to be a better place. You know, especially if you're on one of the islands, you know, in the Visayas, you're only as good as the best healthcare provider there. But here, not only do you have options, but you have internationally accredited options, and you still have the access to get everywhere else you want to go to.
And as we mentioned, this will take some investment, right? And I'd like to ask, Ma'am, are you at liberty to talk about the amount of investment that you're going to pour in to the project here at Clark?
I guess in terms of investment for the construction alone, as coordinated with the GGLC also, it's roughly around 1.68 billion. That's only for the construction.
Yes, for the building.
Just the building.
Just the building, yeah. This does not include all the equipment that we will be bringing in. No? And knowing TMC, we would only bring in no less than the state-of-the-art equipment for the medical
top of the line.
Top of the line. So, and of course, when you talk of top of the line, it connects with a huge amount of investment there.
That's right.
So basically, more or less, no?
Yes.
More or less, it would run to about 2 billion.
Yeah.
2 billion.
Oh, more or less.
Yeah. No, I mean,
but that's huge.
It's a major investment. Yeah. So I mean, when you when you look at it, it's not a decision made lightly by a company like the Medical City, and it's not just that one facility, because as Evelyn mentioned, it's their entire network that they're establishing here.
Exactly.
So you're talking about other clinics that they're setting up, other facilities, the entire network to accommodate all these operations. So it potentially could be even more than that figure, but that's probably a good estimate. One nice aspect about this, Medical City is just having to do the equipment. They're just having to cover the cost of their equipment and their operations set up for their network. The structure that we have in place for their facility at GGLC is a lease, build-to-lease structure. So GGLC is building the facility at our own cost and then leasing it back to Medical City on a long-term lease. So they don't have to actually come in with the upfront capital costs. So that allows them a lot of flexibility to do what they're doing, to come in with a bigger splash in the market with the network, establishing themselves, creating the brand, and then that's all set up for their hospital facility, their tertiary facility once it comes online.
How about the investment in terms of putting the right people to man the facility?
What do you?
I mean, the doctors, the nurses, and the staff that will run it. You know, the hospitals in Angeles, they're worried that all the best local guys who also practice in Manila maybe taken in by the medical city.
I think that should be looked as a
Is that
positive note, no? Not only for the doctors but also for the residents of Pampanga, because it's going to create a lot of job opportunities for the residents here also, not only for nurses but for the rest of our medical professionals such as medtechs,
Yes,
Yeah.
rad
Lab
techs,
people, right?
the lab people, the orderlies, even housekeeping and all
Right.
that stuff. That's going to be a very big advantage for the residents of Pampanga, or maybe Central Luzon for that
Right.
matter. And one thing with the medical city, especially when it comes to our physicians, we only accredit those who are, I would say, credentialed accordingly based on their specialty. We get specialists who have a diplomate, fellow degree. So, although of course there are a lot of doctors locally who also practice in Manila, for as long as they have a diplomate degree and their specific specialty that they practice, then they can be part of the medical city. And then when it comes to our medical staff, once we hire people, even right now in Angeles City, we make it a point that we bring them to the medical city Ortigas, immerse them
Yes.
in the operations there.
Part of the training.
Exactly, to make sure that they get the culture and the quality care that medical city medical staff are giving to our patients.
You know, I look at this as a positive development, because if ever the local facilities are lacking in that aspect, they probably have to make some adjustments to be at par when you're present here. Kailangan mag-adjust talaga sila. And again, that all boils to the benefit of the paying patient.
That's right, of the patient. That's right.
Sila rin makikinabang dito, yung mga pasyente.
Tama. Sila lang talaga. This is all for them. The end of the line. I mean, bottom line.
Right. But
Yeah.
again, let me ask you, how many people do you think when this is all...
Not to steal your thunder, but the estimates that I have from what we've talked with medical city executives is around 3,000 nurses, doctors, and staff for when this facility opens. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the figure that we have.
That's the figure, huh?
It's a major job
That's a
creator.
lot, huh?
I mean, yeah, it's a big impact on the economy. I mean,
And it's good for the target of Clark to be hitting the 100,000
Yeah, that's right.
mark in
That's
terms
right.
of employment. You know, we are into 70 right now.
Yeah.
That will help us a lot here.
It'll be a major factor in this economy, in this market, in helping the Clark move forward,
Right.
Helping this area. But yeah, I mean, it's not a small operation. 3,000 on day one. And expanding.
And
you know?
expanding,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's going to be a major facility, major job creator. And I think at the end of the day, the point is correct that it's all about the patients.
Right.
The business decision to come here was not based on can we poach doctors from other
Yes.
areas or anything like that. It was how can we better serve our patients who are in the north who are underserved at this point. And I think that's the key aspect here.
Right now, you also are aware of the big firms that are operating here, right?
Oh,
Are you already serving some of them?
yes, as Medical City Angeles, we are already serving most of the locators inside Clark already. Of course, we have been handling the medical services for their employees, not only inside Clark, but also
Outside.
up until San Fernando, all the way up to San Fernando, and Pangasinan, and especially for the multinational companies.
Right.
We have been endorsed as an official facility for some of the multinational companies, the official facility for their employees from the regional offices and plants.
Again, because this is of your track record
Yes.
Yes.
You are being endorsed because of your
because
track
of the
record.
brand that, of
The
course,
brand that
being
we
the
have,
medical
right.
city. And
Evelyn's too modest. They've come in and everybody has flocked to them.
Because
All the
he's
international
modest
companies.
because he's been out of the province for a long time.
They really, I mean, actually GGLC is one of the late comers. We just signed on to have our medical coverage and physicals done. But all the major companies that everybody knows here in Clark, in the Freeport zone, that are major locators, major investors, they're now signing up with
Yes.
Medical City. And it is. It's because of that brand. It's because of the reputation. You know, one other thing I wanted to mention that just kind of reminded
But
me.
again, before you
Yeah,
talk about
sorry.
this is a good investment for the locators, right? For their employees, when they have the top of the line facilities, medical facilities, healthcare facilities, for their employees and officers.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. It gives them the choices, the options that they want, makes them feel more comfortable about locating here. Honestly, I think this is going to be a big factor now for the next TI, the next Samsung, the next large major FDI investment that's looking at Clark or Subic or Tarlac or any of these areas here. Now this is going to be a factor that they say, you know, no longer, okay, we have a great site, we have the right labor component, we have the right costs, but you know what, there's one missing factor, and that's the fact that we got to go all the way to Manila for proper healthcare coverage. That's no longer going to be a concern. They're going to have it at their doorstep.
As you said, time is of
the essence that when you're talking about medical.
Very
yeah,
important.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even if you have the helicopters or what.
That's right.
The transportation, still, if it's here, it will save a lot of lives.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
right.
I mean, distance is not
Distance.
measured in kilometers. It's measured in time.
Yeah.
And so when you start to look at EDSA, that's a pretty far distance, right? I mean, yeah, exactly.
so near yet so far.
That's right. That's right. You can almost get there, but not quite. But no, the point I wanted to make was that, you know, and this was something that we noticed with Medical City in our office, in our conference room where we host, you know, various potential locators. We have a map of Clark, and on that map we have the country flags of all the different locators, where these companies are from. And one of the things that up until just very recently, until about the time that Medical City agreed that they're going to locate here and sign the lease with us, that map was filled with every nationality flag except for the Philippines. It was just one of those things that Clark and Subic's very similar because of the history, because of the structure of lease, long-term lease versus freehold, a lot of factors, but there wasn't a lot of interest from the Philippine national companies, domestic companies, and even the major ones.
Right.
So I think what you're also going to see with the entry of Medical City, and people finding out about that and saying, "Oh wow, this is a major brand."
Because
from Manila
some
moving
firms
up.
they just follow the big firms.
That's right. But now this kind of demystifies
Right.
and makes it less of nobody wants to be the first guy, but no problem. Once they see a company like Medical City doing it, they're going to say, all right, we're going to come in. And we're already starting to see Cebu Pacific is now putting more of their investments here. And you're going to see more and more. Mega World is looking here. I think that's going to be a big change, is Clark is no longer going to be a destination of international companies only. It's going to be very inclusive. SM and Ayala are here, all of that. So I think it's a very positive indicator that Medical City has chosen Clark.
Okay. So lahat ho ng mga practices no, yung sinabi mo kanina sa Iloilo cardiovascular ang specialization ng pinutap niyo doon. Dito ho, lahat nandito.
Lahat
Okay.
nandito siya kompleto.
Kompleto.
Of course, especially trauma, no?
Especially-
Considering the location.
The airport nandiyan, no?
It's going to be a complete facility.
Complete facility.
Considering it's tertiary, and of course, we're going to have it internationally accredited as well, just like the Medical City Ortigas.
Yes.
So we have to have a complete facility in Clark.
So yung mga bumibiyahe, talagang pwede rin magpunta dito, magpa-check up, no?
Ay, opo. Opo.
Kung wala yung international accreditation, pwede ho ba yun? O mas nakakatulong yun?
Nakakatulong po yun because it really levels up the category of the hospital.
Yes,
no?
right.
Yung kanyang kapasidad, no? To make sure na safe ang pasyente. You know naman how international standards are,
Right.
how meticulous these people are in terms of patient care and continuity of care, and that's why we're privileged to be one of the facilities that we're able to get that international accreditation through JCI. And the Medical City this is our third time of being a JCI accredited facility. And the same accreditation will be, of course, applied for the Medical City Clark as well, once it's up.
So do you foresee, as per what you just mentioned earlier on, Jeff, that by 2014, this same period, we have we have it?
I think what it's going to be is probably not right this same time 2 years from now, because there's going to be a fit out involved for all their equipment. So that'll probably take another 3 months. But the hospital will be delivered. The structure of the facility will be delivered right around this time. And then there'll be maybe another 3 months to fit it out. So I think the proper target is mid-2014, so around a May or June 2014, this hospital will be opening its doors to the public.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Hindi na tayo mainip.
Hindi na. Before you know it,
Madali,
nandiyan na siya,
nandiyan
di ba?
na yan,
Masyadong mabilis ang takbo ng panahon. So, habang hinihintay mo, that's the time na parang ang tagal-tagal niya. No? But, you know, one day you'll be surprised. By the time you wake up, the medical city is there already.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, Jeff, what do you want to add to what we have discussed already?
No, I mean, I think this is an exciting anchor tenant for GGLC, but it's much more than that. It's really a game changer for Clark Freeport Zone.
Especially for the big local businesses.
That's right.
Coming into Clark.
I think there's already been a trend that everybody's starting to recognize of a shift from San Fernando, which is the region's capital, to Angeles, Malbacat, Metro Clark, where there's a lot of investment activity, tourism, every sector is here. I think this only furthers that. Tourism, medical tourism, business, local, everybody needs healthcare. Proper
healthcare is very important.
Exactly. And I think that's great that
That's
Medical
why
City
we're
is
working
chosen.
so hard.
Yeah.
So
That's right. That's right.
we can afford all this healthcare.
That's right.
Okay, ma'am, meron mo kayong gustong idagdag? You want to add anything more?
Oh, okay. You were talking about afford, no? I was just about to say na...
Baka naman nga yun.
Oo, karamihan kasi, no, lalo na po ngayon that there's the Medical City Angeles. People think that since we are the Medical City, rates would probably be Manila rates,
Sky high.
But no. Of course, we're happy to inform all our partners here in the Central Luzon and Northern Luzon region that we are following the current running rate here in the area for our hospital rates. Well, be it in Angeles right now and in Clark eventually. So there's no
Nothing
need
to
to
worry.
be scared or to be worried about rates, because with the Medical City, you get no less than the excellent quality healthcare service at a very affordable cost.
Maganda, gumagastos ka na, andyan yung magandang serbisyo.
Opo.
Pinaka-importante yan.
Opo.
Mahirap gumagastos ka na tapos hindi pa nakukuha yung serbisyo dapat o angkop sa ginastos mo.
Exactly. Tama po yun.
So maraming salamat. Jeff,
Thank
ikaw,
you.
meron ka pang gustong idagdag? O you want to add anything more?
I'm sorry, I talk too much.
Pareho yata kaming madaldal.
I'm worried about Jeff kasi baka magkulangan siya ng oras. Kasi kaya ako laging ini-invite, hindi ako masyadong nagtatrabaho. Nagtatrabaho para sa akin. So thank you, Jeff. Ma'am, thank you very much po. At magandang balita po yung naibahagi niyo sa ating mga viewers dito po sa buong gitnang Luzon, no? Ang pagdating po ng Medical City dito po sa Clark. Sabi nga ho nila, mid of 2014, baka nandiyan na ho yan kasi yung mga kompletong, mga modernong gamit na dadalhin dito. Totoo, yung mga ibang mga institution sa labas, hindi ninervyos. Pero para sa akin po, isang pasyente na nagbabayad po para sa makakuha po tayo ng good healthcare, kailangan natin ng mga facilities na yung pinupuntahan po natin sa Manila o yung pinupuntahan po natin abroad. Pinakamahalaga po yan. Kaya nga po tayo nagtatrabaho ng todo-todo para pagdating ng araw, meron tayong ganyan na pupuntahan o mapunta. Ayaw natin pumunta sa hospital, di ba? Who wants to be hospitalized? But if it comes, you have to go somewhere that is good and that will service you really well. And again, you did a good job inviting the Medical City.
Yeah, no, we're happy. We're happy we were able to get them here.
And welcome po sa Clark, ma'am.
Opo, and in Angeles right
Angeles,
now.
right.
Meron po tayo sa Angeles.
Okay, so salamat po. You have a good day. Ito po inyong lingkod, Sandy Lopez, sa inyong programang Aksyon San Luzon.